Welcome to Final Fights. I am Mark Hoffmeyer, and joining me is a man who loves to arbitrarily turn knobs. It's Norbert Morvan.
Get away from her, you bitch! Yeah, let's go.
And you know, in this scene, she flips about 14 buttons to open up that bay door to allow the Queen Alien to get sucked out.
I know that flipping switches is your thing, but you gotta understand, space is a deadly place, so you have to make every basic function as complicated as possible, because you know some jerk will be walking around drinking space vodka, and oh, what's this button do? And just kill everybody. You know what I mean?
Oh, wow. So during our Alien podcast, I went off on all the button smashing. But that makes sense. You can't just have a red button that says blow up in a hallway.
You can't.
You have to have about 8 levers beforehand.
You saw how complicated it was, and that wasn't even to blow up the ship, what she was doing in the first movie. That was just to turn off the cooling system. You still had like 10 minutes after you do all that for the damn thing to blow up.
I just hate how in the director's cut of Alien, she is flipping like little buttons for about 45 seconds in one take. Click, clack, click, clack, click, clack.
Your thing is with the flipping of the switches. I remember just the very slow separation of the Narcissus of the Nostromo from the overall giant refinery, and just and that's like 5 minutes, man. I'm like, come on, let's get to the planet, yo.
Yeah, let's get down there.
Star Trek. Yeah, Star Trek, when they just had the Enterprise fly past very slowly for 10 minutes. Jesus.
Well, none of that happens in this fight.
No, thank God. Let's get to the fight, baby.
All right, so leading up to this, I guess we'll do like a who, what, where, when, why. All the Marines, so everyone has seen Aliens, and if you haven't seen this fight, just go watch the movie. It's currently streaming on, I don't know, I think it's on HBO right now. Or if it's not, you'll find the final fight online. So
definitely.
Now, I gotta ask you something.
Go for it.
When Ripley goes to save Newt, which is amazing. She goes down into the facility. She is there to save Newt. She gets Newt, and she and the alien queen have a stare down with each other.
Right.
And there's a couple of xenomorphs are creeping up on Ripley. Ripley lights her flamethrower, shows the queen alien what's up. The queen alien sends the xenomorphs away.
Yes, correct.
Then Ripley's walking away, and granted, she does see that the egg is opening with the facehugger. Ripley just basically made a deal with the Queen Alien.
That's right, man.
And then Ripley just goes, screw it, and unloads her bandolier, her grenades, her gun, her rockets. She blows up every single facehugger egg imaginable after she made a deal with the Queen Alien.
Right.
So I thought this was pretty interesting on the making of documentary. They were talking like Ellen Ripley, Sigourney Weaver, was what she likes about Cameron is they gave this Queen Alien like the rights of motherhood. This Queen Alien was legit pissed. So
correct.
When you're watching this, you know all the terrible things that these xenomorphs have done, but the Queen Alien is essentially just a really pissed off mother that wants to kick the living snot out of Ripley because she made a deal with Ripley. Ripley backed out on it and then killed all of her thing.
Well, here's how I look at that scene. They Cameron, to his credit, a giant 12-foot monster. He gives it more pathos than most of these CGI things we've been seeing in the last 10 years. It's incredible.
Oh, yeah.
With no words, you understand, okay, A, this thing is brilliant, first of all. B, this thing understands that Ripley is here to not just murder her, but her children. And C, is intelligent enough to be like, okay, I'm going to trick her. You see, that's the thing. The queen is trying to trick her, man. If you read, I don't know if you have, but there's a big extended comic book universe that, of course, 20th Century Fox completely ignored. But the queen's got control over everything in that room, basically.
Wow.
So that egg didn't open up on by accident. She did that on purpose to try to screw her because, at the end of the day, you're in my realm, bitch. I'm going to eat you. You're going to make my babies. And then, she absolutely does get pissed off. That scream, as they're running to the elevator, Ripley just looks back. Oh shit. That's because as you've seen, these things The only reason why they make noise in part 3, part 4, and Covenant and all of that other stuff is because monsters just make noise now for no reason, you know? But if something's trying to hunt you down and murder you, it's quiet, bro. And the first and second movies established that these things don't make noise for no reason. So when you hear that scream, it's like, oh shit, she's pissed. Everybody gets that immediately. It is brilliant, man. Yeah, the motherhood angle.
And I kind of dig that it was just so... It reminded me of John Lithgow from Cliffhanger.
Yes!
When John Lithgow is so distraught that Sylvester Stallone lied to him. That seems like this Queen Alien. It's like, come on. There's so much goo in that scene, by the way. So much goo.
Hey, listen, to make up for lack of CGI during that era, it was all about goo and entrails.
That's right. Just dripping everywhere.
And just fantastic puppetry, quite frankly. Remember, he walks in, it looks like some kind of secreted resin. Yeah, but secreted from what? Nobody touched nothing.
Oh, I love that scene.
Man. Yeah.
And
it's gotta be good.
I was watching a ton of these, not a ton. I was watching 2,000 of the documentaries. But what I learned, so James Cameron was talking about with the Queen Alien. I don't know if you noticed this. He's like, look at her legs, man. He's like, I made the legs more feminine of the Queen Alien. And then he made her feet look like a high heel.
Yeah.
And you know what's fun? He's like, as a joke. And then my wife Megan walks by and she's like, he sounds very pleased with himself, which I thought was really funny. I mean, he should be. But I kind of like that aspect of the Queen Alien. And Sigourney Weaver said the same thing, too. And I love that its legs were on rods, and then there was just two people working the thing. And then there was a very large man in the back of the loader that Sigourney Weaver was in.
Right, moving her around. So that's incredible. Yeah, go ahead.
And what makes this fight scene work, and I'm sure you're all over this, but it's just the sound mixing and the sound editing and design. I mean, that walker that she was in, it was probably just cardboard. Not really, but it was enough for her to move. And the hissing of the Queen Alien, that took the place of a lot of the score. When the score is very subtle in the background, the hissing of the Queen Alien really takes place for the score. So
a couple of things about that. That movie won an Academy Award for sound, actually.
It should have.
It won an Academy Award for sound, and also James Horner, he ended up doing the music for Titanic as well, for James Cameron. You know, James Cameron, he was on that Roger Corman school of let's make a movie in 10 minutes. Go.
Yeah.
It was like, what? So that pissed off, you know, the UK workers, and he gave Horner like a very short amount of time to make this score. So that's why, you know, that ding, 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 that incredible music that's now in like every trailer. That's why it's repeated so often, because Horner didn't have time to make the score the way he wanted it to. So you get all of these moments of just silence, man. This is what makes these alien movies scary. Silence. And then just, you're like, holy God, it's right behind me.
And I gotta tell you, I have watched this movie, I don't know, 12 times, at least.
I'm watching it right now. I'm watching it right now.
And when, let's see, oh man, why did I just forget his name? I have it in mind. When Bishop gets torn in half, when he gets the Queen Alien tail through his chest and then ripped in half, that... It feels like the first time. Feels like the first. Like that song should come up because it's like I always forget because I'm just so happy that Bishop is happy. Hey, Ripley finally is nice to me, and then the rip. I mean, that is a brutal rip in half by the Queen Alien is pissed.
Yes, it's everything here that the Queen does is rage. As we've seen from the first two movies, the aliens, they don't toy with you, you know. They inner jaws, bang, pharyngeal jaws to the brain, dead. You're done. You know, that's it. That's what we see. They crush you. This thing rips the guy in half because it has a sense also that he's not human. Yeah. They can sense that. And after she rips him in half, she doesn't just charge at Ripley. She gives her the stare, and you're oh Jesus Christ! And the thing has no eyes, man. It's just teeth on like a body of legs and claws. It's just terrifying, the whole thing.
What a perfect design. I mean, it's a perfect specimen, they say, and it's just a wonderful design.
It's brilliant. It's brilliant, yeah.
I like that the early iterations, they just put it on a forklift and use a bunch of trash bags and some rudimentary stuff, and they're like, yeah, we can make that work.
Well, the fact that you get the idea that, at least in the director's cut, you know, they're like bugs, man, you know, and there's a queen, she's big, she's badass. Once, I wish they had kept that in the theatrical version, because for a lot of people who are not into sci-fi, that would have really, Okay. Because Cameron, he has the Marines the whole time, oh, it's a bug hunt. It's a bug hunt. It's a bug hunt. So you get the idea, yeah, that these things, they're probably like creatures, but also you call something a bug hunt. That's because you're invincible, man. You're not scared of ants.
Yeah.
People hate roaches. You see them in your house, but a roach, you just crush it, man. That's it. So bug hunt. And then you get to realize, oh, wait, the bugs are 12 feet tall. It's not a game.
And I just love, another thing I love about the storytelling in this, I don't care if I'm fawning all over this movie. If you can fawn all over a movie, it's this one. And
it's arguably the greatest, most influential sci-fi movie of all time. You look at the number of video games that just straight ripped it off.
Yes.
Alien Syndrome, Xenophobe. I mean, you look at the way Contra is. The boss in Contra is one of the bosses in Contra is just the alien queen. And this went on forever.
And the gun that Vasquez had.
Yeah.
You see that in other shows.
Yeah. It's incredibly influential.
Now, I didn't watch this in a little while. And I sort of forgot that this fight, Ripley smashes it with so she gets into the loader. She says, "Get away from her, you bitch." And she smashes the alien queen with her left arm. Then smashes it with the right, then grabs the head. Then the queen alien throws 2 tail strikes at her head. She moves out of the way. Then she, grabs the neck after she opened up the bay doors. And the little thing inside the head strikes at her twice. She uses a flamethrower, and then they both fall into the cargo bay door. So, or the loading dock, whatever it is. So
wait. Don't tell me. Airlock.
That's what it is.
Outer space. Yes.
and so this fight wasn't as, and thank you for that. I should have known.
No problem, brother.
I remember it being longer and more epic, but I think they did it right and they worked around the budget of the film. You have the tail that is striking. That's smart. You have the iconic mouth inside the mouth shooting at Ripley. The classic line.
I have learned that is called pharyngeal jaw.
Pharyngeal jaw. See, that's why I bring you on these things.
No problem, brother.
I do all the behind the scenes stuff, like I know about how they put the legs on rods and all that kind of stuff.
Totally. And then I come out of nowhere with flux capacitor.
But this fight, okay, it's not as epic as I remembered. I watched it a lot growing up, but it's been a few years. I remembered the Ripley holding on with the elbow maneuver in the airlock. I remembered the "get away from her, you bitch." I don't remember any of the punches. I remember the tail. But as far as, you could not make this an epic fight. You really, at the time, with a 12-foot giant creature and a cardboard loader with sound effects that make it sound metallic, you couldn't fight that long.
Okay, well, I think the reason being, we have seen that up until now, these creatures are nigh invulnerable unless you have 7mm explosive caseless rounds, to shoot these things and blow them up. A regular handgun doesn't work. You remember in the air duct, as Vasquez is wounded, she's shooting it with a regular gun, and it's just bouncing off the head until she gets really close, you know? So you can't use your regular 9mm gangster gun. So what happens is Ripley can't fight this thing hand to hand. But the whole movie, you get the fact that she's lost everything. She's lost her daughter. She's lost the people who were kind to her friends on that ship. She's got nothing left. These things have completely broken her down. So the epicness in the battle doesn't come from, ooh, Ripley did a backflip. It comes from, this is her catharsis. And you can read it in Sigourney Weaver's face the whole time. The way she, those guttural, those power screams that she does as she's lifting this thing up. It's not so much from effort as it is just, I have to kill this thing. This is the only way I'm going to get over this and get my life back on track. And it's really cool how you get foreshadowing in the earlier scenes where she's moving the box, like, where you want it.
Yeah. Cause that's her job now, is the loading box.
Right. So she knows how to rock and roll with this thing. And the queen's going to be faster than her because she's a human and the queen is an alien. But the queen's not going to be as lithe and stealthy as the warrior drones we've been seeing because the damn thing's 12 feet tall.
And has been attached to a weird thing for a long time, chilling.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So the suspension of disbelief is there. It's enough because Yeah, that thing is huge and it's basically invincible, but Ripley's got her power suit, man. And once that get away from her, you bitch. Oh, you're like, okay, this shit is on. And that's why it's incredible.
And I gotta tell you, so there's a shot in Psycho that I love where Bates is talking to, oh gosh, how have I forgot her name? Oh goodness, how did I do this? Janet Leigh, when he's talking to Janet Leigh, and the camera angles, it's a masterclass when he's talking to her when they're first having sandwiches, and this is the way the camera cuts. Mm-hmm. And there's a scene where, as it gets a little more serious, it gets real close up to his face, and then he leans into the frame. So that was a obvious choice by Hitchcock to, really get the viewer knowing that the conversation's getting more intense. What I love about this scene in Aliens, and I could explain that much better, but I don't care. And so when Ripley is first in the power loader, the camera is static almost, and she walks into it, like right up into the frame. I just love that shot and how it's almost I'm not a static camera just walks into it. And there might be a little zoom, there might be a little dolly trick there, but I just love that they work towards that shot, and it just shows that, I don't know, it's just a really well constructed fight scene is what I'm saying.
It is. It's brilliant, man. It's brilliant. And Ripley's not only getting revenge for everything that she's lost, but she's got to protect this kid who's basically the last piece of family she has left now.
Yeah.
And then the Queen has just been, with no English at all, no eyes, just that little tilt of the head just before she got on the elevator, like, okay, this thing has personality. So the Queen is pissed off too because all her kids are dead as well. All of the epic stuff in this fight comes from the subtext and the narrative that's been built up in the previous 2.5 hours, man. And this is why it's the best movie ever, in my opinion, because so much is unsaid. Mm-hmm. Everything that ends up happening, it's narrative driven. Nobody's making stupid choices. It fits with their personality, and you get why they do it because, hey, you know what? You killed my kids. Yeah. You know what? These things killed my daughter, or these things made me miss my daughter's life, and everybody's got stakes. It's brilliant.
And she can't make this Queen alien bleed, so that's why the airlock is such a smart alternative, and she knows that.
Isn't that brilliant? Like she can't pull out a gun and bop, bop, bop. Exactly.
She did not expect the alien to just grab onto her suit, because that alien is smart.
Yeah.
So do you think she underestimated that, or she just knew, I got to get this thing down there any way that I can?
You know what? The Queen's fighting dirty, man. You know what? If you throw me down this hole, I'm taking you with me, man. That's classic.
It's like
classic dirty pool.
It's like in They Live when Rowdy Piper goes for the low blow on Keith David. He's like, "You dirty."
Or you're gonna start eating that trash can.
Yeah. So the Queen alien goes Roddy Piper on Ripley's Keith David.
Yeah, man. You know, her pharyngeal jaw, unfortunately, is not very long. So all she has to murder Ripley with are her forearms and massive tail.
Now, how strong are Ripley's tendons? Because in the airlock, above Newt goes flying towards it, and Bishop does as well. Bishop has to save Newt. Ripley's in there with an incredibly heavy creature grabbing onto her leg.
That's right.
And then she's using the elbow technique to keep herself situated on the ladder that goes up. How strong are her tendons?
Dude, even as a kid, that part of the movie is where I was like, wait a minute, space is infinite. So how strong are her tendons? I'm going to say that by that point, Ripley had reached the, oh my God, my child is trapped under a car and I have that hidden rage that we can all tap into, like in the Incredible Hulk strength. That's what she's got. She's got my baby's dying. She's got that mother's my baby's dying strength. Also, those awesome Reebok that were held by the most incredible Velcro ever.
Oh yeah, whoever made those shoes, I would find them and hire them.
They're on sale online, man. Every couple of months you'll see it pop up on the Ripley shoes from Reebok, and they have the adorable pink. They look like boots. Yeah.
What, does Ripley have respect towards the people who made those shoes, or is she angry at them for making them too good?
Well, if Ripley was able to get back to Earth after this, she probably would have bought all the Reebok stock and just been like, "Hi, my name's Ellen Ripley. Are you tired of alien creatures forcefully impregnating your family and friends, and then you have to throw them out into space, but one of them's hanging on your foot while the very vacuum of the blankness of the universe can't seem to tear them away? Try Reeboks."
I saw that commercial in my head. Norbert,
Reeboks.
I see it in my head. You just made a commercial.
There it is, man. There it is, Do you need shoes that absolutely will not come off no matter what 3-ton creature is holding onto your feet while being sucked into the blackness of space? Try Reebok.
That's a great selling point.
Reebok, the shoe for life. Something like that.
And you know what else I hate about the sound design because it's so amazing? When Bishop is being pulled towards the airlock, his squishy insides are making noises.
Yes. Oh, yes. Yes, if you got some headphones, if you're not listening to it through a laptop, you can hear everything so clearly. You just... It's gross, man, yeah.
But I think... All right, do you think that the original Alien works because it is mysterious, you don't see it much, and it's just truly frightening. You don't know what's going on. But when it dies, it's more of a frightening creature, and you don't really feel anything for it. But I think the brilliance of this monster is that it feels, and it has anger, and it has emotion. And I think one of my favorite horror movies is The Descent, and I think they ripped that off as well. Where
yes, again, Alien, perfect example. Aliens, perfect, yeah.
They have the blood, the I don't know what they're called, but the female crawler comes in and notices that something's dead and just starts crying while she's underneath the blood puddle. But I liked stuff like that because this alien queen was humanized in about 2 minutes, which
that's correct.
Which I think that helps as far as the storytelling goes because I don't know. I just like that a lot about it.
No. I totally get what you're saying because, viruses, bacteria, cockroaches, things like that. You don't think that they feel anything. Their job is just, they reproduce, they eat, they die. That's it, But once something is trying to kill you, shows a modicum of, wait a minute. No, you didn't just try to murder all my children. And you realize, oh my God, this thing has feelings too.
Yeah.
That's terrifying, man, because, that assigns a certain degree of intelligence. And absolutely.
This is a little bit off topic, but in Captain America Civil War, there's a scene where Baron Zemo, he just got Captain America, Bucky, and Iron Man to fight. And while they're fighting, he's basically won. He's listening to the voicemails that his wife left him before she died in Sokovia?
In Sokovia, right, yes.
And then he has that brilliant scene with Black Panther where T'Challa just chokes him out. But that humanized him right then and there to me. And
exactly.
You're just, so this guy, he murdered, he went crazy. But then you see him listening. I got goosebumps when he's listening to his wife's voicemails. Now, obviously, he's gone way too far. I'm not going to say he's not the antagonist at all. I mean,
no, he's clearly a bad guy, right?
Yeah, terrible guy. But it's just that 30 seconds that humanize him. And same thing with Killmonger when he makes this speech. I like when I think the best villains are villains like that. You can humanize them, but you aren't saying they're the good guys. You still know they're the bad guys. And that's what I loved about this.
Let me tell you something, man. For a long time, Civil War was my favorite one just because you think, they have these huge stakes. The cops are trying to arrest them. Oh, my God, blah, blah, blah. And then you realize Baron Zemo's plan was to just piss them off. My plan for the last 40 years has been to troll these 3 people. It is brilliant, yo. Just an incredible troll job. It's such a movie for the internet age, You want to take over the world? Nah, I just want to kind of let Iron Man know that basically Captain America's best friend killed his mom and dad. And that's going to totally piss him off. Oh my God. I can't wait to see what happens next. That's absolutely some Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook beef he just tried to make. It's brilliant.
Oh yeah, that made me so. But yeah, just the humanizing there, and I think that's why I love this fight so much. And it's also so new. And Ripley became the action hero, and Sigourney Weaver deserved her Oscar nomination. Even James Cameron. You got to think about it. On set, it was just a tail on a stick being wedged at her. She had to draw this. She stayed away from the Queen Alien. She didn't want to see it until they got to the set to really get that moment. But
yeah, that makes sense. That's what they did in Alien. They kept a lot of stuff hidden from them too.
And The Descent.
Right.
So I just love her reactions. Like you said, they're very primal. They're very, I am going to win this. I am not going to bet. I have to do this. I have to just get in there and do it. And she nailed it. And I think that, I would have loved to have been in a packed theater with that scene. That just would have been epic to watch.
I was far too young, man.
Yeah.
Far too young. 1986, what was I, 8? Jeez.
You already saw it 4 times.
Basically, I'm sneaking in. I'm going to Times Square, stepping over all the dirt and the grime.
I love it. But dude, thank you so much for joining me. Any final thoughts about this fight before we get out of here?
One final thought. Ripley, I think she should have won the Oscar for what it's worth. Children of a Lesser God. Who's still talking about that movie? That's all I got to say.
Yeah. So it's kind of, she should have. But I guess they weren't. I guess we have to look at it in terms of, it's almost a miracle she was nominated for this. Because, 86, that wasn't happening. They were just giving it to Meryl Streep every year. Kramer versus, Ricky.
Yeah.
Like the sequel, she got an Oscar. So I think, I would have loved it if she won. But I think it's just great that she's there. And also, every time someone gets nominated for a horror movie, her name comes up again.
That's right.
I think I would love it if she lost. But now everyone's like, she should have won. Or she was nominated. So her name just keeps coming up, and I like that. I like that her name keeps in the conversation.
100%.
But I dig it. Oh, but thank you so much for joining me, man.
Thank you, brother. You keep it safe out there. Peace.
So for me, Mark Hoffmeyer, for Norbert Morvan, this is Final Fights. We'll see you next week.